Hi there, this is Hans Struzina with the East Bay Home Company coming to you live from the Kalani Outrigger Canoe Club here at the Encinal Boat Ramp. We're going to come in, take a look at what they have going on, and learn a little bit about this club. So come on in, let's go meet them. So I'm here with Ben and with Laura. They're going to talk to us a little bit about what the club is, what they have to offer, and a little bit about the community here. As you can see, we've got a great chili cook-off. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but let's go have a chat.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so we're out here at the Encinal Boat Ramp at the Kalani Paddling Club with Ben, who, tell me a little bit about your position here at the club and how this thing started.
Well, I wasn't here for when it started because we actually been around since 1980, and I was just 3. But, wait, I wasn't even born yet, right? I'm the head coach of Kalani Outrigger Canoe Club, and we're a recreational racing team. Mm-hmm. We compete all up and down California and in Hawaii and, internationally. But Alameda is our home base, and we train out of here for competition.
Very cool. And what is sort of the purpose of the club? You did say racing, but is there also a recreational aspect here?
It's both, obviously. We're a non-professional team, so all of us are out here to have fun. But competition is, we have an extensive competition season, but it's really a blast, and it's not hardcore events. The competition ranges from novices and brand new people and kids all the way up to elite racers.
So you do have a kids program where someone could come in and be 14, 13 even?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we've entered. We call them keiki teams, the Hawaiian word for children. But that goes all the way up to 18-year-olds who are extremely competitive at that age. It's a great environment for all ages.
Perfect. How many people are here in the club, and where does this club draw from primarily? Is it just the island, or do you draw from elsewhere?
We definitely draw from all around the East Bay. There's a number of teams around the Bay Area and the Greater Bay Area. Our association actually runs from all the way up to Ukiah, all the way down to Santa Cruz, Monterey.
Wow.
But our club particularly draws from the Alameda, Oakland, Berkeley area.
Okay, very cool. And it's Laura, right?
Yes.
Laura, what is your role here in the club?
I paddle with the women's team, and I help with Anav. She's actually our head coach for women.
Ben's wife?
Yes, Ben's wife. So I help her a little bit with some of the women's organizational things.
She helps a lot.
Helps. I think you're downplaying this a little bit here. What kind of things do you do specifically on the women's side?
So there are very few of us that I think have the experience to help younger members or newer members. So some of the more experienced members will help coach some of the more newbies or the novice teams. We'll also help to try to figure out what races we want to do or how we want to put together a crew for each of those races. So a lot of that is just coordination between Ben and Anav, and then just a little bit of input from some of us.
Very cool. So if someone was to show up brand new, you might actually teach them how to paddle the first time.
We might, yeah. We'll try.
Oh, I believe it. I came out a couple months ago and did my first outing out in one of the big boats.
Yeah.
So with that, tell me, obviously we're standing behind some of the one-mans, right? You call them one-mans?
Yeah. OC1s, yeah.
OC1. And then what are the different boat classes and how does that break down?
As far as OC1s, there's different brands of OC1s.
Okay.
So different companies will make different OC1s based on, body shape of the boat or, positioning of the footwell.
Or what they're made for.
Yeah.
There's surfing canoes, there's flat water boats.
Yeah.
But for the most part, there's usually, OC1 races are a little bit separate, and you race all of the singles.
Yeah.
And then, the 6-person canoes are, racing against each other as well. So
sure.
There's the different events.
And so open water is obviously what you guys do, and we were talking a little bit before about when you have maybe a rougher conditioned day. I was on a rowing team for a long time, and we wanted flat water. You guys don't want that, right?
That's what makes the Outrigger Canoe what it is. It's it's generally considered the most ocean-worthy human-powered craft ever created.
Oh wow!
I mean, there are some kayaks that are also capable of getting out of the conditions that we get out in, but definitely not kayaks where you can fit 6 people in, or even 4 people. Those boats are strictly flat water.
Yeah.
So if you want a open water or open bay experience, if you want to get out on the San Francisco Bay in the summertime, this is just about one of the only human-powered crafts that can go out there and be successful in these conditions.
Stay upright, stay above the water line.
And the origins of the sport were from Polynesia and in Hawaii, where the ocean's unforgiving. It's windy right outside the reef, and to be able to handle yourself out there, you need a very seaworthy craft. And so the outrigger, or the ama that's on the side of the boat, stabilizes the canoe and allows it to be hydrodynamic and fast, but stable as well.
Very cool. Speaking of the origin of the sports, and you guys just did a pretty big race out there, right?
We actually traveled to Molokai this year. And it's the kind of thing where it's always a goal race to get over to the islands, either whether it's for the Molokai race, or there's a number of really incredible events that happen in Hawaii and in other parts of Polynesia, and that's where the main competition is. There's incredible teams in Hawaii, incredible teams from Tahiti, and to be able to go and race them, you almost have to go to where they are. Both in the men's and women's divisions. That's where a lot of the competition is.
Totally.
So
that's amazing. And tell me about that race specifically. I understand it's a pretty long one.
Yeah, it's a 41-mile race.
Wow.
And so it's actually a change race. So you have 6 people in the canoe at any given time, but you have a 9-person crew.
Okay.
And so you're constantly rotating paddlers in and out in order to finish that distance. Laura was actually our change coach this year.
Awesome.
So she helped manage all of us coming in and out of it.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Exactly. Task.
So then you're changing in and out. So I'm assuming you have like a motorboat.
Yes.
So then are you stopping and having someone come over? How does that change work?
Well,
no, the boat just keeps moving. So 6 people on this boat go, and the canoe goes, and the motorboat will come around, drop off 2 or 3 people here. The boat will just come right over them. They climb in, the other paddlers jump out, and the boat just keeps going.
Oh man, so it's like the fastest pit stop ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's actually that's a good analogy, because the race doesn't stop for you. You get in and out as fast as you can. So if you had to stop, you'd just be giving up time on a competition.
So then you're getting wet in these things. This is not a dry sport at all.
Well, the Molokai Channel, there's no way to stay dry.
Yeah.
In that it's commonly 10 to 20 foot waves.
Wow.
That you're out in. It's one of the roughest navigatable channels in the world. So that's part of the challenge of it. And part of our challenge is being here in the Bay Area, which we get a lot of wind, but we don't have a lot of ocean swell and wind. Is training to be able to be competitive in these races, where the people that live over there are training in open ocean all the time.
Very cool. So speaking of the bay and what we have here specifically, tell us a little bit more about this complex we're standing in. I know you were saying earlier that this is zoned specifically for recreation. Obviously, we've got the Encinal boat ramp just over there. So tell me about this space and how you guys ended up here.
Well, Okalani, like I said, has been around since 1980. We've had a number of homes over the years, both in Alameda and in Oakland. But we've primarily been an Alameda-based team since 1980.
Wow.
And we moved to the site only 4 years ago. And this is all part of the transition from the former naval base to Alameda land. And a lot of these opportunities have been opened up for clubs like us, clubs like the Alameda Sailing Center.
Which is right next door, right?
Yes. It's just one door down. And it's given us a great opportunity to be able to come to pretty much the best spot on the island to do what we do, to be able to have access to the open bay, but also have some sheltered water. And have an excellent location to store our equipment and be able to go out and train.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we've been here for like 4 years. We've been expanding and improving as rapidly as we can with our small budget nonprofit situation. But it's we're steadily making progress, and we're really happy with our spot. And the city has been very amenable to us being down here. They really want to create a situation where teams like ours, teams like or clubs like the Sailing Center can have access to what Alameda has to offer, which is a fantastic access to the bay.
Right, and being that we're an island here in a water-based city, having that access is surprisingly rare. Though it seems there's so many people on this island who don't get on the water.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in Alameda. I was, born and raised here, and I, until I discovered outrigger canoeing when I was a teenager, I didn't get on the bay very much. My experience with it was going to the beach, maybe. I knew there was, a zillion sailboats on the island, but unless you own a sailboat or on a yacht club, you get into other things. And having a youth program, which the club did at the time, really opened up getting on the bay for me. That I've lived next to my whole life. Yep. And now you had a craft and a club that was pushing you to get out there in it. Yeah. And I never turned back.
Very cool. So you grew up here locally. What about you?
I was actually I grew up in Piedmont, which is just kind of in the middle of Oakland. Right. And I started actually with a different club and bounced around before I landed here. And this is probably one of the best clubs I've been at.
Why is that?
The coaching is Bennett and I do such a great job with coaching all the paddlers and making sure this program is competitive, but still welcoming for newer paddlers. The location is really central. You can get here really easily. There's, this. You can store your one man here and be able to take it out on the water without having to go out with 6 other or 5 other people, and still be able to go out and get a workout or be on the water, even on a flat day like this, which is conducive to someone who's a little bit newer. Sure. So it's for all range of experiences. Okay. So it's a really nice club to be able to come in as a newbie or come in as a really experienced paddler and be on one of the top crews.
And find a group in that right away. So. That sounds a little bit like a microcosm for the island itself, right? Because we're looking for the purposes of this interview, we want to also understand, your involvement in the community greater, and obviously having an awesome recreational opportunity for folks to get out on the water and enjoy something that they may not otherwise have an opportunity to do, even if they grew up here. Tell me about kind of Alameda in general and what you think makes this place so special, and then how that sort of bleeds into the club here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, growing up here, when you grow up anywhere, you don't think of the place you grew up as being special or different in ways that that benefit you particularly. You think this is just the way it is. Right. But having lived in San Diego, having lived in other areas, I realized just how being an island, being in the middle of the Bay Area, which is such a thriving, diverse area, it's a very unique situation having this much access to the water, having this much access to, to everything that the Bay Area has to offer. Yep. But still be able to get out and do the sport that I love, which is, generally reserved for, living right next to the ocean. In a place like Los Angeles, good luck getting to the water when you want to. Yep. Whereas Alameda, you can live, work close by, and there's the water right there.
Trust me, Bennett and I almost never leave the island.
Yeah. if I don't have to, I don't.
Yeah. Like many of us, I think.
No, I left for about 14 years, and ever since I've been back, it's this is definitely the spot to be. So
definitely. You clearly have been drawn back here after leaving for some time, and it's got a special place here. That pace of life, that ability to get on the water for you, that access to pretty much everything. You commented on LA before and how there's such urban sprawl. That doesn't really exist here on the island or in Oakland so much in general, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have the limitations of being an island. There's only so much real estate here, so
Right.
it's you know, you don't have as much of the, you know, you're not going to have a 30-minute commute from one side of the island to the other.
Yep.
It's, you know, even on the worst traffic day, you know, it's a few minutes to get where you need to go.
Definitely.
And even coming from Oakland, or, you know, I used to commute to the city to paddle,
Yeah.
and it would take an hour to get to practice,
Yeah.
an hour to get home. And as wonderful as San Francisco is, like, to have to go over there to get on the bay was
Yeah.
definitely, it just didn't make any sense when it's all right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything to add to what Ben is talking about with the island and kind of the culture and how that sort of bleeds into the paddling group here?
I think Alameda is just kind of a very close-knit community.
Yep.
And so that kind of is emblematic for this club too, because we're really close-knit. Like the people here, all the paddlers, is very inclusive.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's, you know, right central. It's right next to the high school. It's
Yep.
right next to, you know, all the shops down here on this side of the island.
Yep.
But it's very, I guess all of us are, it's kind of like a family.
Yeah.
You know, so you just kind of, when we hang out, we kind of actually stick.
Yeah, half the time we'll finish up practice and we'll go have dinner over on Webster Street.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So we'll go to
You know,
1400, or we'll go to the Monkey Tie. Or,
Yep.
So yeah, so we're
Oh,
very
wow.
supportive of the local, you know, businesses around here.
And it's right here, so
Yeah.
it's pronounced
I mean,
central.
the last time that I actually came for my paddle, we walked down to Webster from here, and it took us about 15, maybe 20 minutes to get there. And we had breakfast, and it was great. It just felt like a real good Alameda day there. So speaking of that, if someone wanted to get involved in the paddling group and they say, hey, I've never been on the bay before, I've never even picked up a paddle and have no idea what this is about, what would they have to do to come here and try it out and learn?
Well, there's a couple different ways. If they want to go and look on our website, I think it's Kalani.org.
Kalani.org.
And they can just go on there and check out what times that we do have practice. Usually our practices for very, very new beginners are usually Sundays at 9 o'clock.
Sundays at 9, okay.
Yeah, but if you're interested in paddling more, we're totally welcome. You know, we welcome you to come during the weekdays. Women's practices are Tuesday and Thursdays. Men's practices are Monday, Wednesdays, and they're at 6 o'clock.
And that's seasonal.
Sure.
You know, so basically starting, you know,
Training.
more or less, you know, after the time change in March, because we can get out on the water in the evenings much easier.
Sure, with the light and having a little more time out there.
I mean, it's no problem being out in the dark. We have lights.
Yep.
We'll stay inside the rock wall. But it's about a 6-month window of fantastic bay weather starting in early March and through September. That's, you know, coincides with our racing season and our training season. But you know, people want to come out and try it out in the wintertime or the early spring. We usually train on the weekends, and people can come get their feet wet and see if they like it. And if they want to race, you know, we start up in March, and it's you know, it's a great experience, and we have you know, all levels of experience are welcome. We definitely have novices all the way up to, you know, the competitors that, you know, join every year.
And if you're gung ho, we'll put you on one of the 1-mans. If you're not so gung ho, we'll maybe put you on a 6-man.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of something for every skill level, every comfort
sure.
level.
For sure.
So you can at least get out, try it, and then decide where you want to go from there. Excellent.
Yeah, we've had you know, a half a dozen novice paddlers every year that have raced with the teams, especially the ladies crew has had a lot of fantastic new people join that had never paddled before, and, you know, caught on right away and did really well, and have been on our top crews by the end of the year. And we also, you know, field both the men and the women, some of the top teams in the state. So, you know, there's all that room to grow. And our sport has fostered, you know, some of the finest ocean athletes in the world.
Yeah.
And we get to compete with them or against them on a pretty regular basis.
It's amazing.
So
Very
it
cool.
runs the gamut from brand new paddlers to, you know, elite celebrity, you know, stand-up pros.
Definitely. Well, I can smell the chili cook-off happening over there, so I don't want to keep you guys from your event, but thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us about your passion here, and we hopefully we can come out and try it again with you and bring some new folks in for you. So lastly, how do people, I know you said the website, but do you have a Facebook and all that stuff that people can follow and get in touch with you that way too?
Absolutely, or just come down on a weekend in the mornings. We're always out here forming crews and getting on the water. So
love it. All right, well, thank you so much for your time, and go enjoy the cook-off.
Thanks, appreciate it.
All right. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. We're here at the Kalani Outrigger Canoe Club at the Encinal Boat Ramp. If you want to come down and check it out and try this sport for yourself, Saturday and Sunday, 9 a.m. They have a pretty open practice schedule. They'll put you in a boat, they'll get you on the water and teach you everything you have to know about this sport. If you want to check them out on Facebook, we'll link to that as well as their website. Give us a comment of who you want to have us interview next. Who would you like to see on this video series? And send us a direct message or give us a comment below. And until then, this is Hans Struzina with the Best of Alameda, brought to you by the East Bay Home Company, signing off.